Start recording. There we go. Hello, folks. The Celtic Nerd here, bringing you another nerdy video. We are at the end.
Going to lose their lives, like I lost my family in Malachor 5.
And Father left us all when he lost all that he loved at Malachor 5.
We go now, my master, to that dark place which made you, where you gained your ship, your troops. Your ship, my prison, that you dragged from the gravity well at Malachor 5.
Wish I'd never met him. Wish I'd died there. That the storms had dragged me down into Malachor 5.
We will not surrender. We will not die, like we did on Malachor 5.
Your command echoes still, General, and I obey, as I did at Malachor 5. Now Malachor 5 comes to us, and I wish to face it this last time. You know where you must go. It calls to you still.
It is the heartbeat of the past.
And she must be stopped, there, now, or she will bring the screams of Malachor 5 to the galaxy, just as we carry the echo all this way.
So, Atten is a little pessimistic. But that's Atten. He's always pessimistic. So he's not happy about this. He's like, oh god, I wish I just died. But the thing is, though, if we don't do what we have to do, he will die. Because, again, what Cray is planning on doing will affect every Force sensitive. Oh, there's a bunch of assassins. And they're all down. But this is it, folks. Wow. This is the final planet. And then there's the Sith Triumvirate Academy.
It has been some time.
You were a fool to return. I spared you once. I will not do so again.
Spare me? Ah, yes. No, you simply did not learn the lesson I sought to teach. That your strength is as meaningless as the strength of my hand.
Why have you returned?
Because now I understand why the exile did what he did. There is much to be done.
So, yeah, Krea's whole plan is... if it's not already obvious, she wants to use my character and her bond to essentially destroy the Force. She is planning on wiping out all Force sensitives in the galaxy. It's a convoluted plan because, again, eventually new people will be born. Actually,
Master, he is here.
I know.
What is thy bidding, my master?
You are to do nothing. When he arrives, bring him before me.
He will not survive Malachor.
What will you do with him, my master?
You know what I shall do. You, who wear my teachings so well. I will break him. He is a blank slate upon which my teachings may be written, as I intended for you so long ago. Leave me. Await the arrival of the exile. When he comes, bring him before me.
So, this is what I mean, folks, by we're getting to a point where all the characters are going to be basically soloing. So, my character gets out of the ship after the crash, and he's by himself. Now, as you can see, the Ebon Hawk probably is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is fucked. Wait, I did not change my headgear. Why is the... There we go, the force focusing visor should be what's equipped. There we go. Right, let's head into Malachor 5! You know what, hold on, save. Chapter save, in case something goes wrong. What T? Mal... 5. Start. And did I just accidentally hit B? Yes, I did. Bye. Start. There we go. Alright. Don't know if that... It looked like that could have been a Rakio, but I don't think it was. Now, luckily enough, my character is healing for 7 health a second. So, that's going to play a big help. Means I don't have to drain my force energy before a fight to heal. The regeneration's not going to do much against like these enemies in an actual fight, but it'll at least help me in between them. Now that looked like that creature used some kind of like scream effect, like for scream. You know, let's check out this map with backtracks. No, let's. I think that's actually the right way to go. I want to explore Malachor 5 a little bit, so I don't want to just beeline it towards the end. You know, we worked hard to get to this point. Like, let's appreciate the actual ending and the environment. Like, I do like the layout. It's very chaotic, very jagged. You would believe we're in some kind of like chasm of a broken planet. And the music, very nice. And I even like the victory music that we get. The whole da da, you know, like it's still quite interesting. There's the Ebon Hawk. There we go, we're getting a cutscene. I think this is going to have us transition to one of our other characters. Yeah. So now so I don't know how Mira ended up on the ground there. But yeah, no, she's now going to go looking for us. But as we can see here, she herself is being hunted. So we don't get the... okay, so we're not switching over to her just yet. But we will at some point. Now, it's one of the reasons why I pretty much trained every Force user in my squad to use Force Heal. Because... oh, here it is. The music... the music unsettles you. And I like that. So like when we're in combat, like it's just like disturbing music. Okay, so this path joins up with the one that we were on. We're seeing another damaged console. There's another one of those strange creatures. I have no idea what the... okay, it's called a storm beast. Now, the only problem with the music is if we get into one fight rapidly into another. Because then it just sounds awkward. Alright, I don't think I need the Force Regen. So I'm actually going to go back to Force Potency just to increase our damage output. I don't think we need to regenerate the Force as much. Because, like, these things are, like... okay, when they hit me and there's enough of them, yeah, they are dealing, like, a sizable chunk of damage. But they're not lasting long enough to even make me drain my powers. So I think it'll be worth it more to just potentially one-shot them. I don't know actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up now, folks. Well, before we get to the end, I'm actually curious just how effective is Force Potency. Okay, so we need to look up would it be under character? No, that's character generation. Let's see here. Would it be under force powers? Nope. Would it be under... Here we go. Oh, this is interesting, folks. Your force regen points is based on the amount of force energy you have. Maximum regenerate force points +6 or +1 per second. Although when a lightsaber has 2 crystals granting bonuses, only the highest is displayed in its description. According to feedback, the bonuses from both crystals are actually added. Bonus can be much smaller than normal regeneration out of combat, especially for a high-level consular. So, as a consular, we have about 6 Well, okay, it stops at 576, but we are effectively getting back 6 points a second. However, when engaged in prolonged combat as you are aboard the star, oh, yeah, that's talking about the Starforge. But you know, it looks like it's interesting calculation. So what we need to do is look up KOTOR 2 force forms. Alright, here we go. So we're looking at force potency. So the damage is actually increased by 30%. Damage is increased before any saving throw, but not for advanced throws. Force points regained by drain force aren't increased, but vitality points healed by force strain, and death fields are since equal as damage inflicted. Cost is increased. Your alignment adjustment. Alright, and then so force mastery is to get a 50% boost. Opponent saves versus thing is -2. Saves versus force powers -4, and FB cost is 20%. This is the final form learned by Jedi Consular, or the duration following the force power is not increased. So choke and kill only increased for choke attribute damage, infliction and plague, force push, whirlwind wave, and saves raise force powers penalties actually increase force power difficulty class rather than decrease in saves. Cost is increased after alignment adjustment and the effect of the power section and abilities section. So potency okay, so force power damage, we're getting like we're getting a significant buff. It's a 30% damage increase. That's pretty good. But let's see here what it says about the regen in combat though. Force affinity. For FP regenerate combat though, a somewhat reduced rate when compared to non-combat regeneration rate. So holy shit. So force channel is actually better. FP regenerate during combat. If alignment 50 or more, then it's the first form learned by Jedi Consular. Force regeneration during combat is increased by 500%, reducing time to regenerate 0 to maximum force from 900 to 150 seconds. The percentage sums with regenerative force points, feats, percentage 250 plus or 750 combined. Since this is the only bonus granted by force channel, actually does the same and more. Force affinity should never be active. Holy shit. That is hilarious. So force affinity, never use it. According to this information. Force channel force regeneration outside of combat is plus 50%. In combat it is 500%. Force power damage plus 3. Saves is plus 2. Force regeneration is actually increased both in and out of combat, although it's only increased by 50% out of combat versus 500% in combat. Out of combat, it's 10 times faster, reduced time to regenerate from 0 force from 90 to 60 seconds versus 900 to 150 seconds in combat. These percentages sum with regeneration, which generate force power, force points feats, percentage 25% out combat and plus 250 in combat, or 75 and 750 plus total, respectively. Damage is added before. So, yeah, it is just the better thing, because, like, holy shit. Now, that being said, force potency does give us a flat 30% damage increase. So the question is, do we want damage or do we want regeneration? I don't think we need regeneration. I feel like we are getting by without the regeneration. I just don't feel like we need it. We've already been down here. So I'm going to stick with Force Potency for that sweet 30% increase in damage. But it's interesting to know that there's a force form that because of calculations is just useless. Oh, here we go. Myra is probably going to get confronted. Here we go. Let's see here. What forms did I teach her? I taught her potency and channel. You know what, let's give her potency, because... Actually, no. Channel, because she is terrible at using the Force as a weapon. So it'll be interesting to give her that, and we're going to... Battle meditation, followed by this, followed by this, and followed by this, and followed by this. Did I never give her a red crystal? There you go. I was like, why did she have critical? Let's see here. She doesn't have anything that boosts like sneak attack. Oh yeah, I was leveling up her charisma to increase the effectiveness of her damage force powers.
distraction.
So that was the special fight between her and Hanhar. She puts Hanhar down in his place, and again we get the option to her to do some evil. Well, we get two options to do some evil. One, kill him. Two, let him suffer even longer. And then the third is the light side option, which is trying to convince him, look, life debt is done. You don't have to, like, I release you. Because again, Zerka, the company Zerka abused the life debt system to make slaves out of rookies. They would arrange, you know, to save and all that. Again, it's an awful thing to use people's culture to, you know, do something cruel like that. Okay, so yeah, we're more effectively killing these things just now. But like again, it is costing me a little bit of more force. It's well worth it. See another buried ship. Okay, so interestingly enough, and I progressed too soon. Did not want that. So, by the looks of things, this is where Hanhar and Myra had their final confrontation. So, she came the way we just left. Also, this mini-boss, we're just... yeah, no, he's child's play. Now, we are going to backtrack just a little bit, folks, because I want to explore. So, no, she went down. So she went out through a different set of doors, I think, actually. Right, so which we came out from? Yeah, we need to go up this hill. Because, like, she also went downhill, I'm fairly certain. Alright, so we, let's see here. Oh, one of them's gonna get close enough to be a melee combat. Now, HK47 is not here. He's back on Telos. And I'm disappointed that, like, after doing the content, he stayed gone. Oh, there's the temple. Alright, so... Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to piece together where certain characters are heading to. So... It looks like Myra was heading to the temple. Like, that's the way it looks to me. Like, okay, so at some point she comes into this valley. Hanhar, attacks her. She defeats Hanhar, and then she went out the gate. Okay, so this is where Hanhar attacked her. Okay, so yeah, we're just behind her. Because this door opened and she walked through it. I'm fairly certain. Heavy repeating blasters. This was Candaris's work. Judging from the number of depth and the depth of the blaster burns, these appear to have been recently killed by fire from a heavy repeating blaster. And that is Candaris's signature weapon. So we know Mandalore is alive. And he's at the riddling some assassins with holes. And we know Myra came in this direction. I do like the sort of sense that all of our companions are coming this way. Oh, the assassins. They're all just lining up like an honor guard. And they are kneeling. So we are welcome in this Sith temple. And here's Dark Cray. Okay, I feel like the game is... Something's gone wrong with the restored content. Because we're getting skipped dialogue. We're getting skipped scenes there, folks. By the looks of it. And it's pissing me off because it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened a couple of times on the Ebon Hawk. Wow, we have no weapons, but okay, folks, I need to pause this because I'm very curious about some of these restored contents. So, let's open up YouTube real quick. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I want to separate it. I want it to be its own window. As much as I like Opera, sometimes it does things that I'm not exactly trying to do. Okay, so just close everything here. Okay. KOTOR 2 restored content. Malachor. Five scenes. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to type in Myra. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of scenes here. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to find some of the videos. Okay, so this is clearly on the phone. But hold on. I'm trying to find the footage, folks, but like it strangely enough doesn't look like it's actually caught. So okay, let's check out Myra's story on KOTOR. There you go, Myra KOTOR 2. Okay. Let's find out what exactly transpires on Malachor 5. Okay, no, this is just telling me what she says. Okay, here you go, the Malachor 5 walkthrough. Then we go to the surface. Malachor depths. Okay, so we actually did lose some dialogue, folks, okay? We actually did lose dialogue. So when the game transitioned to us switching to Myra, we were supposed to hear, hold on. Across the bridge, you can see the Ebon Hawk. If your party then darts to you and Cray are discussing her. Alright, so yeah. If the exile has come here, then he has not come alone. Then Cray replies, of course, apprentice. The huntress is with the exile. She has special talent for finding that which should remain lost. It also makes her difficult for me to sense, but not to a creature bred for such things. Sayun, shall I send the assassins for her? Kreia, no. I have brought a beast to Malachor to deal with that one. If she survives, she'll become stronger for it. And then she stands up, and then Myra is supposed to say, well, here's a surprise, yet another slice of galactic paradise. Why can't we ever go to Alderaan, or Itor, or someplace without metal jagged rocks or packs of bloodthirsty beasts? Okay, that's the next line she is supposed to say. Then on the Malachor surface, there's the Storm Beast Pen, Trias Academy. Okay. Trias Academy. Meanwhile, if Mare joins your party in Nar Shaddaa and she now approaches the Beast Pen, followed by Hanar. Hanar? Oh, you have to be kidding me. She said, the grey-maned female brought me here to hunt you. You've always been my prey, Mira. Weak, scared, always running, hesitant to kill. And then she says, Han. And then that whole moment where he's supposed to grab her, lift her up in the air, and then slam her onto the ground. And then he says, here on this graveyard planet, you are nowhere left to run. The eyes of Nar Shaddaa do not look here, and what happens here shall only be between you and I. Run, pray, or fight me. Here I can feel the rage of this planet pouring through me, yet it is nothing compared to the hate I have for you. Then begins the fight. So yeah, I chose dialogue 3. Then we... Okay, so this does not tell us the special dialogue of what happened in the restored content. So shit. Okay. Oh my god. It's alright to see what we missed. Restored content. Integration. Search content on Malachor 5. It's expanded to provide closure to her backstory. Base game large skips over her actions. If present, she participates in the cutscene when the party confronts. Okay, so so Myra met up with some of our other party members, and so yeah, they are basically planning. Now we're playing as our little remote buddy, and we need to avoid fights, which is why the chasm is built the way it is. It's to give us alternative routes to get to the consoles. So yeah, that's why this has this whole maze layout. Okay, yep, we go down this passageway here. Then there's the Republic ship. Because the remote has no weapons, so we actively do have to avoid fights this time around, folks. Now, luckily enough, it seems like the game is remembering we killed all the enemies. So I think killing all the enemies in my character actually helped us. The psycho playstyle, as it's called in the game, because this game has 3 general alignments: psychotic, dark side, and light side. Alright, so there's a little bit around the corner here that looks like it might be part of a Republic ship. Nope, it's just a corpse. No Republic ship things here. Then there's the Ebon Hawk, nothing there. So guess I just move on to the next zone. And there's two Republic buried ships here. One's looking up just around the corner. Right, one more. Now it's in the exact opposite corner now. And I'm not seeing any enemies, so... Again, I think this is definitely happening after our character woke up and we explored. So it's a real benefit to explore the map before you get to this part of the game. So I'm glad I have an exploratory instinct for games. Okay, for some reason it's skipping dialogue, folks, now, and I don't know why.
Unfortunately for you, I have arranged for friends to meet me here, and you seem to have brought none of your own. Stop him.
Unexpected correction. We are not here to aid you. We are here because our predecessor unit summoned us. Statement. As always, that one, you have miscalculated.
Ah. An unfortunate oversight. All I wish was to help my programming. Either way, the Republic is...
Observation. I thought he would never die.
Okay, so I'm going to read the dialogue that we just missed there. So, okay, so that's the... Because of that whole sequence causes the planet is now going to start drifting apart. The force was basically the mass jet craft.
We've come a long way, Kreia. Still Father Data.
Ah, the Huntress. To come alone, you are braver than I thought.
She is not alone. We stand with her.
And with her stand all the Jedi.
And now I come in saying something suitably heroic.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
With lightsabers, but not Jedi, I think. Come close. Let me look upon you and see what the exile's teaching has forged. An assassin, a slayer of her own kin, a blinded slave, and a fool. Which of you wishes to try yourselves against me? As you can see, I am unarmed. You, perhaps. Come, child. Where you walk, it is not far from battle, slaughter, and the blood of your sisters. Think before you throw away your life for him. Think of everything you will lose by dying. Your lusts unfulfilled, a dance unfinished, a love requited. Think before you give it up so quickly. And you, blind one, you have hungered to strike me down ever since you saw the bond the exile and I share. Can you feel the force running through me, even past the veil, past your blooded eyes? You know you cannot win.
Force runs strong within you, Treya. But in the howling of a storm, it is difficult to hear the whisper of the blade. You have forever been the blind one. You were given a gift few are ever given, and yet you let your gift of sight warp you, twist.
You think your existence under your lord was torture, Miraluka? I will make you see. An assassin.
And you scared little fucking shit. Oh, Atten.
And I get the fool.
Funny. That's just what I was thinking.
Oh, All those crits. But no, Atten, you... Oh my god, Atten, you scared little bitch. Running out on your fellow apprentices like that. So, okay, so that's the cutscene we got. With Atten and the rest of our apprentices. I love that. That was so cool. All of them working together. Well,
when the exile enters Treya's academy, he will be faced with a choice. One path, assuming he survives, will allow him to save his friends, but he shall be the weaker for it. The other route will lead him directly to this place, through the ones that have hounded his steps from the beginning, and he shall have his vengeance. Show him every respect when he arrives in these halls, Lord Scion. This I command you.
But oh my god, Atten running away like that, that's... Oof. That was hard to watch. All your other apprentices work, like, you know, being there. Okay, I'm gonna rescue my apprentices. I just don't know which way it is to Let's see here. What force power will I grab? I'll probably won't be able to grab any more after this. You know what? Let's grab Force Aura. Prison. Okay, yeah, so they must be in the prison. Oh, that says Trey's Crescent. Now, see, I want to go to the prison, but like, okay, hold on. I need to do a save, folks. Hold on. A chapter save. Here we go. Because this is ridiculous. I'm making my intent, like, very clear in this video. Like, of what I want to do. And I don't want the game to end up fucking tricking me now. Hold on, the force power will wear off on him soon enough. And then I'll kill him. Guess I might as well walk in. Alright, should wear off soon enough. There it is. Let's backtrack a little bit. Okay, now the general layout here looks like, based on the mini-map, these look like they could be cells. Alright, let's see what is so special about this hurricane crystal. 1 to 8 unstoppable lightsaber damage. No. That's not as good as all the other ones I got. Alright, well, we checked these cells. So, just based on the torture room and the cell, like what are clearly cells, I think I'm in the right area. I just have to, you know, just keep looking around a bit. Oh, just one guy? Okay. There we go. Oh my god, what now? Hold on, folks, my sister. Pause the recording. Green light to make sure I'm still recording. Alright. Let's see here, folks. Hold on, just make sure. There we go. Alright. By the way, folks, this is going to be one big video because we are pretty much, this is like the final part of the game. So I feel like this justifies having a fairly long video. I could break Malachor up into smaller videos, but I just, something feels right about it being like one video. No, I'm not even gonna bother looting anymore. Not like looting the bodies. Oh my god. Now, okay, now they actually dealt me some damage, so fair play to those guys. But as you can see there, even when I get dealt damage, it's small. Oh, he stunned me. Okay, so this bit is just a dead end, just to have a dead end. Okay, but we're still looking for our apprentices. Oh my god! Right, now this area is called Trace Academy. We're back in the central area, but I'm still not quite understanding where our apprentices are, or like, where's the decision that we're supposed to make? You know? Okay, now we're in the proving grounds. I like how, because I'm now going in like a reversed pattern, all the enemies are like, what the f***? Yeah, I'm just gonna use Sit Lightning. Like, as much as Push is cooler, for speed purposes, oh wow, we can actually upgrade our wisdom. There we go. And as for feats, let's go with conditioning. Increase our saving throws. As for force powers, we'll go with force. Oh yeah, it's A. Like, it's X to unlock the power. Alright. There's one door here. Nope. That's it. Everyone come to me. This makes it so fast. There we go. Finally. This place was not labeled fucking correctly. Alright, we need a terminal. Okay, let's see if we can find this nearby terminal. Oh, there we go. Notice, folks, it's only the droid. Sorry, it's only our Princess Mandalore. Okay, folks, I don't know why, but the game is skipping dialogue. So hold on. Okay, so we had the whole thing being activated. Barter, if you're hearing this, then the sequence has been completed. When active, it will destroy Malachor again. I have one last command for you. You must remain behind and ensure that the sequence fires properly once the general gives the command. If not, then we have fought. All we have fought for has been for nothing. You have done all I ask, all you are built for, and I thank you. Then that's when KOTOR appears. Touching the probability of the Eldorian install and triggered commands within your core was high. I see the probabilities have been played out. Of course, the probability that I would have to do the same is equally high. Your inability to move right now is evidence of that. If the general issues the command, only I will be here to receive it. You realize I cannot permit you or the exile to activate the mass shadow generator for Hero Malachor. In that, your programming and mine conflict, and since you have no offensive weaponry to speak of, the probability of your programming overwriting mine is low. You must understand that the general would not wish the relics or the Sith's strength Hero Malachor to be compromised. Their presence is needed to stabilize the galaxy. Without them, the galaxy would be reduced to anarchy within years. And if there's anything I can't stand, it is an untidy galaxy. So let us wait here, you and I, for the general's orders, and the fate of the galaxy shall wait with us. And then that's when we got HK showing up and putting a stop to it. Okay, now in the proving grounds. KOTOR. We should be able to save our apprentices. Scrolling down, it's all about the enemies. Wow, so this is restore content. Okay. So unfortunately, folks, I don't know what exactly we're getting at. Okay, so basically Mandalore wants to help us fight Kreia. We're telling him, no, get everyone out of here. I will say it does. I can understand why they're probably skipping the dialogue. It's probably because the voice lines were not recorded. Like the game never so basically right now. So that was us. This is the restore content that as it is on Malachor. Our apprentices were supposed to confront Kreia. Kreia mocks them, starts knocking them out one by one, with the exception of Atton. Atton, being the scared little shit that he is, runs, which I will say contradicts some of the scenes that we saw earlier, because when you train him to be an apprentice and when you find out the truth about him, he stands up to Kreia. He tells her, oh yeah, now you have nothing over me. I will, tell him I told him everything, and he doesn't care. So Kreia, stands up to Kreia. Now Kreia knocks him out without looking at him. So it could be a situation where, he feels like now that he's by himself again, she's just going to knock him out, especially if he sees her knocking all the other apprentices out one by one. Now, interesting thing is, folks, we don't know what happened to Barad-dûr. He is our only apprentice that's unaccounted for. It is a curious thing, what happened to him. I don't understand the comment about because I was expecting, like, okay, we have to sacrifice X amount of health to open up the cells or something like that. But no, I don't. I just opened them. Alright, here we go. And then that door is just, it brings us back to the thing. So essentially we were supposed to choose left or right. Again, despite one area being fucking labelled Treya's prison, we go right to rescue our companions. We rescue them. Mandalore wants to stay with us. He wants to fight. And again, no dialogue checks needed. We just convince him. It's just the tone that we're, in terms that we're speaking to him in. That is the factor. We basically tell him, no, we are doing this ourselves. You make sure everyone, like, leaves. So we saw him and the others leave. The only people who are unaccounted for at the moment is HK and the remote ambassador and T3. Now, we do know that Goto is now dead. Which is interesting, because by the sounds of it, Goto wanted stability, yeah. But again, he didn't care. He was going to support us. But again, he's assuming my character wants control over this academy. And we're getting we got some skipped dialogue there. It's a bit annoying. I guess this is also content because, oh my fucking god, it's skipping all the dialogue, and I'm really pissed off at that, folks. Oh, I'm using the wrong force power even. I'm using the weaker. Oh wow, that drops him by half. And, okay, I don't know what happened there, folks. I will... hold on. I'm going to try and get that's, like that whole scene. Now, again, keep in mind the dialogue choices I picked, but I don't know what's going on in terms of some of these last bits of dialogue being skipped. Nope, I did not click that. There was a delay. Here we go. KOTOR, Syoon. Okay. Sorry, folks, there's a fly that's bothering me. Okay, so we get an interesting, different scene. This is interesting. I guess the scene... Okay, so the scene plays out differently because of what I did. And here it is. Oh my fucking god, no! They cannot be doing this to me. What? Okay, hold on, folks. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to read to you the lines that are being fucking skipped. Oh my god. Hold on, I need to turn the light. There we go. Where's a bottle of Coke that I had? Okay, I cannot fucking believe that this game is doing this now. Alright, there we go. I need to actually see if is there a reason for this bug. KOTOR 2 skipping dialogues. Okay, I'm looking at two different posts about this, folks. Okay, one is based on one's from Steam. I haven't played KOTOR 2 with the community patches in a long time, but I really don't know if it's just yet. Double check. Okay, so apparently it's a memory leak. And the fix is actually apparently something quite simple. You exit the game. Okay, folks, I'm going to pause the record. I'm going to exit. I want us to actually have all these dialogue options. So hold on, give me a moment, folks. Pause the record. Okay, folks. I'm resuming the recording back from a point where I did my mid-save. Now, this was when I went to save my apprentices and whatnot. So we're going back and we're going to go through the proving grounds. Hold on. No, this... Sorry, folks, wrong way. Give me a sec. Confusing layout. There it is. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna speed on through. Now we're just going to use Force Storm, folks, just for the sake of speed. So, apparently the bug happens when there's a memory leak, which can normally happen in this game when you've played several hours. Oh, it's the one. Right, so there we go.
The Sith must be stopped. If they destroy the Jedi, the Republic will fall and my people will be eradicated or enslaved. I never went to the surface, only the sky above it. The world is taboo to Mandalorians. We only came here when the Republic fleet gathered and we knew it was our only chance to stop them. I can't say I'm happy to be back here, but I believe we can do what must be done.
So you have come to die like the Jedi before you. This planet is a graveyard for your kind. She thinks you should be spared, but only so you might suffer. You will break, and when you do, you will die. Why she would bother with one such as you is something I will never understand. Then it shall be proof that you are not the one she seeks, and she shall accept my loyalty again. You are wrong. I have come farther than any of her apprentices since Revan, even you, and I am stronger for it. You seek to erode my will. You will not succeed. I am ready for you, exile. I have waited years to see the last of the... Only one may serve my master. Now you realize the true power of the dark side. As long as the dark places of this world flow through the cracks of my flesh, I cannot be killed. You're strong. Perhaps she was correct about you. But you cannot kill me. She knows this. There is no life without the Force. The Force is a blade. Without it, one is defenseless. She sought you out because both of you were wounded by the Force, and because she had no choice. She would not willingly return to being the helpless woman she once was, nor would she wish that of her apprentice. If you will not leave this place, then I cannot allow you to pass. If you go before her, you will be broken. If killing you will spare you what lies ahead, then kill you I must. You will not pass. There is truth in your words, but there is nothing left for me except my master. I fight because it is the power that the Force fills me with. To survive, to inflict the pain on others. I can die 100 times exile and still I will rise again as strong as before. I will not fall. I cannot die. Why? Why did she choose you? What makes you able to defeat me? Defeat me here? You have defeated me. Flesh and belief, both cast down. Kreia, she will try to break you, to teach you how far someone can fall. Her weakness is you. She has done all this, all of it, for you. I am glad to leave this place, at last.
Here we go. The final battle. Oh my god, folks, we're doing
it. Last you have arrived. Is Malachor as you remember? I know, but there is more than death in this galaxy, and you shall not find it easy. It was difficult to draw you here, but it had to be done. This place is your last test. It is the graveyard of the past, where you lost everything. It is the dark place in your mind that still echoes of failure. Now we shall see if you can overcome the weight of Malachor and silence the echoes that beat from its heart. You no doubt have many questions. I would be a poor teacher if I did not give you the answers you seek here now. I never destroyed Atris. She had destroyed herself. I merely stripped away the illusion and brought her truth. Her teachings could not be allowed to continue, and like Malachor, she was part of your past, unresolved. She needed to be something you could confront and defeat one last time. It was part of your training, part of what was needed to make you complete. And there must always be a Darth Treya. The galaxy needs its betrayers, especially in the times to come. She loved you, you know, as one loves a champion. You were all that she could not be. Of course, let us speak no more of such things. We shall let the dead lie, as the dead lie upon Malachor. More talk of machines and threats. If you would end Malachor, then do it. But it will not be a victory for you. You may hold Malachor in your grasp, but I hold the answers to your past and future in mine. Would you destroy us both before learning them? If so, then do it, for you have already failed me. I know, but there is more than death in... It is the... Now... You no doubt have many... It is said that the Force has a will. It has a destiny for us all. I wield it, but it uses us all, and that is abhorrent to me, because I hate the Force. I hate that it seems to have a will, that it would control us to achieve some measure of balance when countless lives are lost. But in you, I see the potential to see the Force die, to turn away from its will, and that is what pleases me. You are beautiful to me, Exile. A dead spot in the Force, an emptiness in which its will might be denied. I use it as I would use a poison, and in the hopes of understanding it, I will learn the way to kill it. But perhaps these are the excuses of an old woman who has grown to rely on a thing she despises. Yes, always. From the moment you awoke, I have used you. I have used you so that you might become strong, stronger than I. I used your death to deceive the Sith, to make them believe they had won, so they would turn on each other. I used you to keep the Lords of the Sith from condemning the galaxy to death with their power unchecked. I used you to lure them to Telos, where they could be at last fought and killed. I used you to reveal Atris's corruption so that her teaching could be ended before it began. I used you to gather the Jedi so they could be destroyed. And I used you to make those who wounded me reveal themselves so they could be killed by the Republic. Yes, always. From the moment you awoke, Perhaps you were expecting some surprise, for me to reveal a secret that had eluded you, something that would change your perspective of events, shatter you to your core. There is no great revelation, no great secret. There is only you. No, there were not. In times past and in times future, there are Jedi who will stop listening to the Force, those that will try to forget it but maintain unconscious ties, and those, as in the past, just as I, who have had the Force stripped from them. But no Jedi ever made the choice you did, to sever ties so completely, so utterly, that it leaves a wound in the Force. It was a mistake to try to make you feel it again, I see that now. There is no truth in the Force, but there is truth in you, Exile, and that is why I chose you.
Alright, so we pretty much done.
I know. It is now.
Now this is where my build comes into its full strength. So even though she is resisting the power, she still has to go through that animation. And she's not able to deal, there is a blind moment where she can, initialize the attack. But the thing is, as you can see folks, she is so busy going through the animations of recovery that she's only able to do limited amount of attacks on me. Like, bare minimum.
Then finish this. Kill me. Strike me down. And at last, end this. You will not show me mercy. I will see you break before you do. Let us end this.
Oh, folks, we need to get rid of that notification. There we go.
It is done. At last, it is done. You are greater than any I have ever trained. By killing me here, you have rewarded me more than you can possibly know. It is your choice. I had hoped you would follow Revan's path, but you and Revan are different, and your path is your own. You may take one of the ships that orbit Malachor and depart this place, or you may remain here on Malachor and wait for the others, those touched by the Force, who will come in time. Or you may return to your exile, where your presence will no longer affect the actions of others. There is no dishonor in any of these choices. I only ask that you make the choice without regret. Many things do I see as I gaze here from the heart of Malachor. This place channels such energies. If it matters to you at this last moment, I shall look into the future and tell you of what I see. It is my last gift to you, from one exile to another. You travel with them for so long, yet you do not know them still. Feel them through the Force, feel what they feel, hear their thoughts and know them as I fought to know you. They were the lost Jedi, you know, the true Jedi upon which the future will be built. They simply needed a leader and a teacher. She will continue to hunt life, but it shall have a new edge to it. She shall become a predator. Her life shall be a long one, filled with battles and conflict. But in the end, bounty hunters will come for her, as she came for them. She will die on Ord Mantell, her death a badge of honor for her killers, before they too meet their end. Many battles does that one have left in him, as Revan intended. A general needs an army as he needs those he trusts. And Canderous is a loyal beast, no matter how much he is broken upon Revan's will. But you know this. They will die a death that will last millennia, until all that remains is their code, their history, and in the end, the shell of their armor upon the shell of a man too easily slain by Jedi. The blinded one shall return to her home world, and as she looked upon you, she shall look upon the surface of that world, and perhaps at last see what she was meant to see. After that, I do not know. I do know that you must leave her behind. Where you are destined, you must not take anyone you love. It was Revan's choice as well. She will seek to forget you and this place, and instead give herself fully to battle. She will be the last of the handmaidens no longer. Where once she dreamed of the Jedi, she will put such things behind her. The Jedi will always be ones that she will judge, and if she can, punish for being human. Atten shall keep his murderer's heart. Many deaths shall he cause in the dark corners of the galaxy, always hunting, always finding prey. He shall grow hungry in a galaxy where there are few Jedi, and it will eventually consume him. But I shall say no more. I would have killed the galaxy to preserve you. I would have let the galaxy die. You are more rare than you know, and what you have taught yourself must not be allowed to die. You are not Sith, not truly, and it is for that I love you. Their paths are unknown to me, even the small one who waits for you outside this place. I sense it has one last journey for you. You must go wherever. It is because he remembered what lay buried here, this place, its teachings. It paved the way to Korriban, you know, the remnants here. And because Malachor, like Korriban, is on the fringes of the ancient Sith Empire, where the Sith wait for us in the dark. have we? You thought that the corrupted remnants of the Republic, the machines spawned by technology that Revan led into battle, were the Sith? You are wrong. The Sith is a belief, and its empire, the true Sith Empire, rules elsewhere. And Revan knew that the true war is not against the Republic. It waits for us beyond the Outer Rim, and he has gone to fight it in his own way. And he left the Ebon Hawk and all its machines behind, for he knew he would not need them. And like you, he knew he must leave all loves behind as well, no matter how... Because such attachments are not the way of the Jedi, and they would only bring doom to them both in the dark places where he now walks. It would have helped had he made her understand, but she was always strong-willed. Because I did not know where he had gone. If he had asked, would I have gone? I do not know. But he will need warriors, Sith and Jedi, any who can be sent after him into the depths of space, for any who... Perhaps you shall go there with him and do battle at the end. Instead, I remained here, and now... The Republic will fall, as it always has, a fall that will take millennia. Telos shall recover, and Zerka shall make it a place for machines and sciences. It will run smooth and cold, like a machine. But it shall not forget the time that Saul Karath orbited it and brought fire to it. It shall learn to defend itself against war, and it shall never again be caught defenseless. Dantooine shall lie in ruins as was intended when Malak's fleet brought death to the planet. Its surface will become home to nomads and primitives who will walk. Shaddaa shall persist as it always has, but the exchange shall rise in power, but only in the end to be consumed by the hunger of the true lords of Shaddaa who dwell upon the planet below. The Hutts will not long tolerate the exchange, and without Goto among them, they shall feed upon themselves until there is... Vaklu shall have a short reign, but Onderon's independence shall persist. As he fought the Mandalorians, his triumph over the Republic shall serve to preserve Onderon against the rest of the galaxy, and most of all, its victory shall give Onderon strength, so that the horrors of the Sith War and the Mandalorian Wars will not soon come to its surface again. Korriban shall be as it always was, a graveyard for the darkest of the Sith Lords, still whispering within their tombs. It shall always be a source of evil, spawning threats throughout the millennia. It, like Malachor, brushes the edges of the Empire that waits in the dark, and like Malachor, the Sith have forgotten it. For a time, they will remember. Revan knew this. You travel...
You are leaving? I would come with you, if you will allow it. Others? What do you mean?
Ooh, drop my controller.
I shall do as you ask. I shall train others who will follow. When will you return?
Need any company? I mean, I'm not doing anything. Besides, if I'm not around to bail you out of trouble, who knows what could happen. All right then. Where are we going again? I mean, because last time we were heading towards this mining colony on the edge of space, and there was this Sith Lord and...
And there we have it, folks. The end of Knights of the Old Republic 2. The Sith Lords. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I have lots of content. I have lots of things to say about this. Hold on, folks. I need to lower down the game audio for this last bit. Let's lower it down. There we go. What the hell happened? There we go. Oop! Accidentally clicked back onto it, but I guess we ends the credits. Nothing's happening. The screen's black. Don't know what the fuck happened there. Alright, we're getting a repeat of this scene. And the game. Okay. Movies. We have only the dark side stuff here. So we are gonna play. What's this? Some of the Dark Throne. That just leads into the credits, doesn't it? Yeah. Then we have the death. We have the death of Cray, which is me just chucking her body into the thing. Also Alt Enter because you guys can't see. There we go. Okay, where is the credits? Because I'll just play the credits. There we go. Okay, that's not displaying correctly. There we go. Play the good old classic. Now, I want to talk about this game first. Okay. So, first off, this game was made in the time span of 8 months. 8 months it took to make this game. Now, even with the restored content, there was still a lot of things that needed to be said and done. For one, there's a whole situation involving Atten, like the way Atten just leaves, and the way that ending is set up about us going after Revan. I also find it interesting that it doesn't confirm like who your love interest was. Unlike in like future BioWare games, there's no big I love you moment. You know, there's no big I love you and then you just have one final night together before the big final battle. None of that. It's left pretty ambiguous if your character was in a relationship. Hell, it looked like our character was in a relationship with two characters. Like, there's some implications there that there was. There was no big confrontational scene about, like, oh, it's me or her. As we saw with Myra. Myra comments on the fact that we have, like, both Myra and Handmaiden are like are apparently somewhat in a relationship with us, and that she didn't want. That's why she has no interest in us, because then it will cause drama with her having to put them in her place. And then she also kept talking about how your character is old. Okay, I guess there's a situation there. It could be a situation where Myra is a lot younger than she appears, because we know that Mission was like 13. So it could be that type of situation. Maybe Myra is not that old. Actually, you know, let's find out. Let's see here. KOTOR to Myra's age. Okay, she is 23 years old. Okay, so she's actually not that young. Okay, it's a bit. She's not that young. So there's always that. Gameplay wise, a lot of better improvements than Knights of the Old Republic 1, in my opinion. I really enjoy the fact that we get scenes where our companions interact with one another. I do wish we would have gotten more of that. Like, again, now even in Mass Effect, we didn't get that. It wasn't until, like, Dragon Age 2. And, sorry. Dragon Age 2, it was the start of it, where BioWare tried to experiment with the companions having a life outside of the main character. For example, when you're playing, if you travel with your companions in Dragon Age 2, they will reference spending time with one another. For example, if you don't romance, what's her name? Aveline, the woman who becomes captain of the guard, she talks about how she invites, like, Isabella over for dinner with her and her husband. Like, she invites her over, like, they become good friends over the course of the game, if you listen to their dialogue as you travel around the city. And then if you travel around with all three ladies, they're all helping each other out. They're giving advice to one another, and you know, they apparently even go out for drinks. You know, so there's a lot of that. And Dragon Age Veilguard also did that. If you travel around the lighthouse, you will see your companions interacting with one another, and it even goes as far as your companions having relationships with one another. Like, it's very interesting. Now, clearly, this game is the earliest example, in my opinion, of BioWare doing that. I don't recall it happening in Knights of the Old Republic 1, and I don't recall it happening in any other RPG that was done by BioWare. Now, again, I know BioWare had this other game on the Xbox original called Jade Empires. It was a sort of RPG fighting game, but I don't know if they had such situations in that. So, I don't know. But I can definitely say, no, this is the first example of this situation. Now, what else can I say? I really wanted to see. I would love to see this game fleshed out, like rebuilt from the ground up. I would love to see it. Like, I'm not just talking about a simple graphical enhancement. I'm talking completely 100% overhauled. Like, same story. Now, mind you, that being said, I want it to be the same story. There's clearly a lot of evidence of that there was supposed to be Knights of the Old Republic 3 that featured the True Sith Empire, but unfortunately that was in production hell and development hell for so long, until eventually BioWare and LucasArts released it as the MMO called Star Wars The Old Republic, and it takes place centuries after the events of this game. I don't know if centuries is the right word. I think it takes place like a century at most, or maybe 2. But either way, it's SWTOR takes place after the events of KOTOR 2, long after, because we know that there are several generations between Satil Shan and Revan. Because, like, Satil Shan in Star Wars The Old Republic is the great, well, we don't get an exact number, but she is a descendant of Revan and Bastila. There is a line. There is a direct line. But we don't know how much is in between. It's believed that there is maybe 3 centuries difference between her and Revan. And again, this game takes place 10 years after the events of KOTOR 1. So, yeah, they clearly pushed back. Clearly we were meant to play some kind of big war like out in the Outer Rim. Like maybe they were going to set up a whole new, maybe they were going to introduce a whole bunch of new planets, and we were going to be like setting up like a guerrilla warfare. Like we were setting up a rebellion. I think that's possibly what they were doing. They were going to set up like some kind of like rebellion story where Revan and we play as most likely someone that was trained by someone else. Maybe because I think as long as you train the handmaiden, because again, her compared to all the other apprentices that your character gets, handmaiden's Jedi unlock condition is level based. You need to just beat her 3 times, and in order to beat her 3 times, you need to be level 18. So with that, you can just jump in. Now, I do want to show one thing off. So we do need to go to load game, and we're just going to go back to my autosave, okay, folks? I want to show something off, okay? I do want to show something off. So here we go. We're back at the autosave. So look at my level, folks, okay? I just want to keep that in mind. There's my level. All right, I'm level 48. Now, that being said, there is some things I do want to point out. I have a mod that halves the experience needed to level up. Okay? Half the experience needed to level up. So basically, even with that mod installed, I only got to level 48 out of 50. It is fucking crazy that I got this far. It, like, holy shit, folks. Like, boom. Like, holy shit. There is so much content. Now, again, some could argue it's due to the fact that I have also the restored content. And that's why I would say the restored content is a must install. Hell, I know people debate about M47A as well. I would install both. Get yourself some nice little extra content, some little extra XP, and you can see how they fit together. But dear God, folks, I did every fucking quest in this game. Now, in the end, I did avoid certain types of enemies, I believe. I could have explored both sides of the thing, because remember, I did load back, and I went straight to rescuing my companions and then going after Kreia. So there was that. But in the end, though, folks, like, I think that would have only got me 1 extra level, so I would have been like 1 level off. And you could chalk that up to maybe me picking up more mines. But still, that is absolutely fucking crazy. The amount of content in this game, and yeah, you could only on average, people only reached level 25. Yeah, absolutely crazy. There, you can tell that they had much more content planned in the game by the simple fact that the original max level was 50. They intended for us to reach around level 50, but then they had to take out like half the fucking content of the game or whatever. Like, so there you go. But you know, Knights of the Old Republic 2 is always going to have a special place in my heart. It's always will. It's one of my favorite games. Hell, I want to play through it again. You know, maybe at some point I'll do a light side ending. I might do a canon. Well, actually, fun fact: despite the canon version of the exile being Mitra Surik, a female, she gets a whole different companion called Disciple, and you are meant to romance either him or Atten. But here's the thing, though: everyone hates Disciple. Everyone hates him. Everyone prefers Handmaiden way more because she has a bit more of an interesting story. She plays a bigger role in this story as opposed to Disciple does. I know. I played a female. I know that Disciple is in the game. He's boring. I did not like him. He is very boring. But the thing is, though, it's canon that Mitra Surik was light side, and it is also canon that the Handmaiden did actually travel with Mitra Surik. Now, this was changed after this game came out. Eventually, it was canonized that the Handmaiden did journey with the exile. So I just find that fascinating. The Handmaiden was so popular, they changed the lore to have her still be with the group. But yeah, no, I might do another playthrough at some point. Maybe next year I might do one. But again, I really would like for all Star Wars months to have like their own Star Wars game, like as a special. So I might not do KOTOR again. I don't know what I'm going to do for next year for Star Wars month. But folks, at the time of this recording, this final episode, it is the 8th of April, and it is it's time for my D&D game. So yeah, that's it. I'm the Celtic Nerd signing out. One name, one sky, and may the Force be with you. Happy Star Wars month.